What's up, gang? It's Alex, the Moondog, your boy. We recorded an entire really, really fun episode of Pass the Gravy today. Me, myself, Pat, and Harley. And for some reason, there were some technical difficulties that made it where that video and audio just disappeared. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened. Hopefully, by some miracle we could sort of salvage it, and if we can, I will post that. But we could not. I left the station today. I left the studio today without any audio or video from today. We did prep. We had all kinds of awesome stuff for you. Um, I thought it was great, and the episode is gonna be called Dry Sleep. The episode is gonna be called Dry Sleep, and yeah, I wish that I could be giving you that right now instead of this, but because I cannot, I found a really, really old episode of one time in the very beginning of Pass the Gravy, and these are the bad days of Pass the Gravy. I'm not saying they're good now, but I'm just saying they were bad then, quality wise. So this is kind of very on brand with us having a no episode from today. This is the time that myself and Curtis, the Godfather Chafin, interviewed a vampire, and it's just kind of my default, like, oh shit, something fucked up. Here's this for you guys. So the video is probably going to be pretty boring because this is it. This is just me doing the video. The audio, it's fine. You guys are going to love it. It'll be a little dated because it was like 2015. But this is me and Curtis Chafin's interview with a vampire from back in the day. Please don't stop listening to the podcast. Please still subscribe and all that stuff. I apologize again, and hopefully we'll be back and at full strength with an actual podcast that's new next week.
Gravy, gang, gang, gang. Baby, pop the top and let it spread. As we're listening to Pass the Gravy. We're going fishing for your bitch today. We're drunk in Houston, baby. Now we go ahead and lick and we'll get rich today. Rich, bitch.
Got past the gravy, and for the first time ever, we actually got a vampire to come on the show. Today we are joined by Vodalok. How's it going today, buddy?
It's going pretty good. It's been an interesting week already, but I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to it since we spoke on email at first, about a week ago. But
Yes.
let's get right into it. Where do vampires come from?
That's a good question. A lot of people out there like to say that vampires can be made or that they're awakened by a sire. Unfortunately, this isn't true. We're born the way we are, and if you're not born one, you're not one. You're never going to be one. That's the flat out bottom line.
So how do you know you're born one?
People usually start realizing that there's something different about them between the ages of 7 and 14, pre-puberty. It starts very early. For a lot of us, it's being able to feel other people's energy, being able to sense when someone is upset. There's a lot of empathy involved. And we tend to be more sickly as children growing up.
So you get sicker more often?
Yes. There's a lot of discussion out there regarding why we are the way we are. And some people like to say that we're something else, but we're not. We're just human. And we have an energy deficiency, and there are a lot of people who want to dismiss even that. And the problem with that is that there are a large handful of physical disorders, disabilities, illnesses that we share in common, and the number of those is far too great to just be coincidence. So when we start realizing at a younger age that we're not like everyone else and we're having problems doing things that everyone else should be able to do and can do, you know how kids are. They can be
Yeah.
cruel. They spot things, and the moment someone stands out, they isolate you, and that's something we have to learn to deal with right off the bat.
So, so like, do you go to a doctor to be diagnosed, or is it kind of a self-diagnosis?
It's a moment of self-awareness. It's like when someone realizes that even though they've been raised to be Christian, they're actually Buddhist, or they're actually Hindi or Muslim. It's a moment of self-awareness where you realize everything that you've been taught should be right isn't right. And the only thing that makes sense is what feels right. There are people out there walking around who are energy vampires and have no idea because they refuse to accept the simple truth that they're not producing a certain type of energy in their body, and the only way to get it is from other people. And I'm sure both of you have been in a room where someone has walked in and the life just dropped out of the room for no reason.
That's interesting.
And typically that is an energy vampire who doesn't know what they are, walking into a crowd miserable, and suddenly they're feeling a lot better and everyone else is miserable.
Okay.
So just for everyone else's sake, the energy vampire is like someone who like kind of takes in, feeds off everyone else's energy, and kind of sucks out of the room. To say.
Generally, when that happens, they're not aware of what they are. Actual self-aware energy vampires are very cautious and very careful about what they do and how they do it. One of the rules within the community is never take without being freely given. Never. It's a big no-no. And it can get people in a lot of trouble for doing it.
Like legal trouble?
Depending on what they do, yeah. If someone is really stupid and doesn't try to educate themselves about what they are and does something incredibly stupid, yeah, they can get in trouble with the law. But for the most part, we go out of our way to make sure that we don't do anything wrong. I'm sure you've seen on TV people being accused of being vampires doing horrific things. They're not part of our community. None of them are. And whenever the media starts throwing around the word vampire, it makes every one of us cringe and just brace for impact because we know it's coming. And it's an unfortunate thing that we have to deal with.
So there's a bunch of this like you wouldn't consider them vampires then? Those
No, not even a little bit.
It's like
No.
someone who just watched a vampire type genre movie and just is like, oh, I want to do that, and they just go out and make a menace of themselves.
Exactly. There are stupid people everywhere, and there are weak-minded people everywhere who are easily influenced. And you will find that the majority of actual vampires are very intelligent, very strong-willed, and very, very much aware of their surroundings and who's around them.
When I was doing some research, I realized there's what are called vampire courts, and I guess is that like an association of vampires? Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, the courts. Good Lord. I am not part of a court. I am not officially part of any house. It is an association of like-minded vampires who come together to have a social community in which they can step out of the shadows and be free with who they are with others like themselves. Unfortunately, the courts, they like to set themselves up in ways that have people kissing rings and bowing down and kissing ass, which a lot of us just want no part of. Because, seriously, who wants to be a ring kisser and not have any kind of say in what goes on in their community?
Yeah, that's what when I was watching the videos of that, they were the weird kind of like vampires, like, hey, look at me, I'm a vampire, I'm gonna go out in public and do this. And
Well,
talking to you, you don't seem like you just flaunt it around all the time.
no, I don't. I don't hide it either. I'm actually fairly public about what I am. I'm a published author, like I explained earlier, and my pen name is L.A. Nance. You can find me on Lulu.com. I do not make any secret about my being a vampire to anyone. If anyone asks, I tell them the truth. I'm honest about it. On Halloween, yeah, I'll dress up. It's fun. Everybody
Are you a
likes
vampire
to.
always on Halloween?
No, I'm usually a homicidal maniac. They look like everyone else. Think he was Wednesday Addams. Go ahead.
Have you ever like been a part of a court and you're just like, what am I doing? Like, what are these people? No, never.
About 20 years ago, I tried to be really involved in the community, and I tried to find a house or a court to get involved with. And there was a level of arrogance at the time that was just... The Republican Party has nothing on arrogance in consideration to the way the courts were 20 years ago. They have no competition there with the arrogance, none. It was so bad that I found myself going, you know what, you're a bunch of assholes, I want nothing to do with you, and went and did my own thing. The last 4 to 5 years, I've become more active within the community again, and 99% of that arrogance is gone now. A lot of the old court systems are gone. There are a few places that still hold on to them, but they realized that they could not keep doing business the way they were. And they loosened things up. They became more understanding and less strict and assholish about the way they do things.
Yeah, the way you were describing them earlier just made it seem like they were a vampire fraternity. Like,
yeah,
cake stands and shit.
Back in the day, they kind of were, and it was really sad. It's like when I was 13, I spent some time growing up in Mississippi. I've moved all over the place as a kid. And I went to this one Baptist church and hung out with the guys there, and they were all baptized and good Christians, and they did everything they were supposed to do. But the moment they stepped off church property, they immediately grabbed their beers, their swearing, and everything that the Baptist church is against, and just went on their merry way, and they would put it all away on Sunday and pretend to be these nice people again. And that's the way the old courts were. When they weren't being publicly viewed, they were a bunch of assholes. But when they were publicly viewed, they put on their pretty faces and they wore their pretty mask, and they tried to come off as being regal and noble, and they weren't.
So they were essentially politicians.
Yes, like I said, the Republican Party has nothing on the arrogance of the vampire courts of 20 years ago.
Okay.
I could also see how, like, people, they can act out because they're around a group of people that it's a small group of people, and they're like finally, hanging out and socializing with people that are like them, and that would give anyone, some confidence, and people may do some crazy things. So I could kind of see where they would be assholish and whatever.
Well, there's a social hierarchy in any community or social activity that is established within human society. Anytime you get more than 5 people together, a social hierarchy is going to be established. Decent people will not take advantage of that. Intelligent people will not take advantage of that. It's people who have low self-esteem and have no self-confidence that take advantage of those social orders and that social hierarchy and try to push themselves further and higher into it.
All right, you're an energy vampire, correct?
This is my first one. Well, I've done some written interviews within the community, but this is my first interview outside of the community.
Okay, but you would consider yourself an energy vampire, correct?
Yes.
All right, when I was doing research, there was, I think, sex and blood were other types of vampires. Are those valid, like recognized types of vampires, or
There is sanguine vampirism and there is tantric vampirism. Both are very valid. What you need to understand is that vampires do have a deficiency. Now, on the page you showed me, they were saying that only showed up after the movie Life Force in 1985. That's not true. The movie Life Force, they had access to someone who knew something about the community, and they wrote that in. The idea that we have a deficiency has been around for a very long time. It's one of those simple realities of being a vampire. It's one of those things that you realize early on in childhood. The psychic vampires, they feed primarily on prana, on energy. Sexual vampires feed on that energy, but the only way they can access it is through sexual tension. It doesn't necessarily have to be intercourse. It can be through flirting.
okay.
It can be through any activity that can lead to sexual tension. As long as that energy builds, they have something to feed on. Sanguine vampires, the way they access that energy is through blood. And there are those in the community who say that's not necessary, but most of them are not sanguine and don't understand just how important that connection is. And to try and explain what that connection is and why it's important for a sanguine is very difficult, because there's a lot of phobias and there's a lot of stereotypes. And generally, the general community views sanguinism as a form of cannibalism, which is extremely taboo, and no one wants to even think about it.
You're not literally eating the person.
No,
right?
God's no. God's no.
Okay.
and the fact is that for most vampires, the amount of blood that's needed to be sustained is extremely small. You can fill a thimble with it.
Like just take a shot of blood and you're good.
Yeah, it'll sustain you for about a week to a month, depending on how much you are deficient.
So would they have an iron deficiency? Would that be their deficiency?
No, it's not the iron. It's
Is it energy again?
it's back to the energy, and it's how it's accessed. Like I said, psychic vampires can just take the pure energy as it is. They could walk into a room and pull off all the negative energy if they want and leave, and everyone will be left feeling extremely happy. Or, like I said earlier, someone doesn't know what they are, they can walk in and just pull all the energy out of the room and leave everyone feeling drained and down. Tantric vampires, they feed on sexual tension, not necessarily the intercourse. It's the tension, it's the emotion, it's the intent, it's the vibrations that get created during that moment. And for sanguines, the only way they can access that energy is through the blood.
So like energy drinks do nothing for you, right?
They make me jittery.
It's just not the same kind of energy.
Makes you
No.
jittery and have the shits like everyone else.
Yes, exactly. Like I said, we're human. We're a little bit different. We're still human. We're just different.
One of those vampire court things I was watching. It's an MTV True Life.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, where the girl on there was convinced that she was not a human. She was different than humans, and that's why I was confused, and that's why I'm glad that you're actually like breaking all this down for us. That's why we came to you.
Well, here's the thing. And give me a moment so I can word this correctly.
Yeah.
There are a great number of people within the community who accept that we are human, but we are different from human because of our deficiency. Some people take that in a literal sense and say that we're not human or that we're better than human, and the fact is we're not. If anything, we're more human than human. And that may sound odd or, what's the word I want here? Egotistical, but it's not. We tend to feel things more deeply. We tend to be affected by things more deeply. and we tend to avoid confrontations that could cause anger, strife, or any kind of dysfunction within our social unit, because we're going to feel all of that way more than anyone else. And if you have ever seen someone who gets upset easy or cries at the drop of a hat, it's because they're feeling everything that is going on around them, including what everyone else is feeling. It's called empathy. And
So
most
women are
vampires,
vampires, right?
to a degree, yeah.
Which Adderall.
No, you can keep going. I'm sorry. I tried to make a funny in that.
No, you're good. It's actually very funny. I've made that same joke. Most of us are very empathic in what we feel and how we feel it. So we really try to avoid any kind of confrontation.
That's got to be the best way to do it then, because I'm sure there's everybody, like a lot of people are just trying to go out there and attack you for your beliefs and stuff, just like they would any other belief.
And I'm sure you've seen on TV the people who want their 15 minutes of fame,
Yeah.
who are just, they're the lowest base of life possibly, because they don't care who they're hurting, how they're hurting them, or what. They just want their 15 minutes of fame. All they want is to be self-served, and that's what they're after. Most of the people who do that are not part of our community. We don't know who they are. No one has ever seen them anywhere, and then they show up on these TV shows. And they do more harm to our community than they do good. Yeah, they're helping the rest of the world realize that, hey, we're out here, but they're making us look horribly bad.
Yeah.
So is vampirism? Is it like? Would you say it's like hereditary? Like, is it passed down? Is there family history?
That's a good question. There are a lot of studies inside the community going on right now, both for health reasons and things like that. As far as genealogies are concerned, I've only met a few others who have actual family members that are older than them, who are also like parents or grandparents and things like that. So it's not something that I could say yes to, because I've only met a few people who have claimed to be so.
But it does happen. But
It does
less
happen.
than usual. Not usually though. Less often.
No. It really is just the luck of the draw when you're born. You're either born a vampire or you're not one. That is the bottom line.
All right. Do you have your teeth? Do you have sharp teeth?
Let's debunk a few of these.
Yeah. We're trying to get to the bottom of all these stereotypes here.
Not a teeth. Well,
Okay.
I have teeth, but
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
don't have fangs.
Teeth are important.
You got some chompers in there, just not the canines you see all the vampires with.
Um,
Do most of those guys file theirs down, and it's a cosmetic
no,
for them?
actually, it's a cosmetic thing. It's like a denture plate, and pop it in, and you got.
So are those people typically fake?
No. Within the community, there are a lot of people who feel that the best way to, without having to deal with people and explain to them all of this that I'm explaining to you, because every time someone asks a question, it usually leads into anywhere from a 20-minute to a 2-hour long discussion trying to explain themselves. So a lot of people, they just get the prosthetic teeth and wear them when they go out to certain functions, just to have everyone know, hey, this is who I am. Now, there are people out there who wear them just to get attention. I am not one of them. And I know a lot of people out there in the community who are just like me. They won't touch them. It comes down again to people who are looking for their 15 minutes of fame. But not everyone you see on TV is like that. The Vampire Court in Austin, they're a bunch of good people. They're actually trying to educate people, and they realize that the only way they're going to get people's attention to hear them is to be a little more flamboyant and draw attention to them. Because when they do, and unlike the MTV special that they did, they actually get a chance to do what I'm doing with you guys, explain what's actually going on. They're just a little more flamboyant about it than I am.
It's like they get people to completely go out of their way to ask them the question where you kind of let us come to you.
Yes.
Trying to gain attention so that people become curious and then they can explain themselves.
Yes. Because they live in that community and they have to deal with the people in that community. The faster they can get who they are out to the majority of that community, the safer they'll be.
Ah, I see. Do like mainstream like movies like make you upset? Like when you watch like a Fright Night or like something like that, you're like, oh god, like this is just more shit I have to deal with. Like,
I love a good movie. When I first saw Fright Night when it was first released, I laughed all the way through the original. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a lot of us, we enjoy the movies. We really don't see anything wrong with the movies or anything like that. The TV shows, like the ones on UPN, I want nothing to do with them. They're a bunch of tripe and garbage.
What's your favorite vampire movie?
That would have to be The Addiction.
The Addiction.
What do you think about Twilight? Are you Team Jacob or Team Edward?
Fuck no! Don't even. God's damn. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm just picking.
That movie is the biggest piece of garbage to ever be produced. There is nothing redeemable about that movie. Nothing. None of its sequels, none of it. The books are garbage. It's all, oh my god. Every time I see someone running around going, Vampire Sparkle, Vampire Sparkle, I want to punch them in the face.
Have you watched them all, or did you just watch like 50 minutes of like, I'd rather...
I've sat through 2 of them, and that was more than I could deal with. I tried really hard to find something redeemable about them, but not even the actors' performances were acceptable.
The chick is pretty hot.
Okay.
What do you think? What are you talking about, Alex?
I
think I'm Vodolok's side on this one. I think
I'm
like
saying
crazy right there.
That chick is kind of hot in it. I actually didn't see any of the movies.
Because she's got hundreds of thousands of dollars of makeup on to make her look that way.
Yeah. No.
I try to like after hearing about like everyone just trashing these movies, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna try to go an open mind. Like 15 minutes in, I'm like, all right, fuck this. There's no way I can sit through all of this.
Exactly, and those movies just, no.
Okay.
No.
Our next myth. What about garlic? Do you eat garlic on your food?
I love garlic.
It does nothing bad to you.
Unfortunately, it doesn't like me, and I am unfortunate in that to have that really ridiculous stereotype. But be advised, a large proportion of people of Scottish descent have an allergy to anything in the Olm family, be it garlic, onions, chives, etc. I have that allergy.
Okay. Where did the whole myth about it come from? Is that what it was from?
If myth means Hollywood movie magic,
is
then
that
yes.
really it? Oh, okay.
Yep. It's all Hollywood.
Also, did you feel like the movie Blade was like the vampire's Jackie Robinson? Was he breaking the color barrier for vampires everywhere?
Wow.
No?
I didn't say that. I said wow. The Blade movie did a lot of good things for the movie industry. Did it break barriers for
black
Did it break the race barrier?
Did it break a race barrier? No. It did great things for Wesley Snipes' career. It did great things for the movie industry. But There are a lot of people of color who are vampire, and you would be surprised at how many. They're all good people. I count quite a few of them as friends, and vampirism knows no race. It knows no heritage. It comes and goes from everyone.
Well, that answered that, didn't it? I feel stupid.
Let's step away from the whole movie bullshit
Yeah.
for a minute.
That
Thank you.
means Alex, shut up. That's
Yeah.
what
Thank
you
you.
say.
So how many books have you written?
I have written to date 3 books. My first in my vampire novel, Incubus Succubus. The second is Maya's Tempest, which is a collection of short stories. And the third is a short but concise children's book about death called Everything Dies.
Brilliant.
Can you get all of those at Lulu?
Yes, you can get all of those at Lulu from just by searching for L.A. Nance. And Nance is spelled N-A-N-T as in tango, Z as in zebra.
Any relation to Jim Nance?
No.
What how like can you describe like an average day? Like are you just a full-time author or
Pretty much, I'm a full-time author. My body decided to shut down around 10 years ago, and I ended up on Social Security disability. I am trying to get off of that by doing the writing. It's just one of those things that as a vampire, when you don't feed as often as you should, your body rebels. It does not like it. And I tried to fast for a while, and I got the short end of the stick.
didn't work out too well?
No, not well at all.
So when you like, if you just hang out, alone, you can definitely you feel more depleted than if you're out and about. Like, do you ever just
Well-
go to a mall and like feel a little bit better?
You
That's-
don't want to take others' energies, right? That's what you were telling
Oh,
me
that's
earlier.
true.
Right, right. Well, here's the curious thing about us. We need to be around people to stay healthy, but we generally tend to be loners. We prefer to be isolated. It's one of those conundrums that we have to live with. We want to be alone because we prefer being alone, but we have to be out and amongst the people if we want to survive. Because you can't find donors if you're hiding in your room.
So how necessarily would you find a donor? Would you just be like, hey, I need to borrow some energy from you? Can...
In some places, you can actually do just that. There are certain clubs and nightclubs and bars that the people that go there are extremely open-minded, and as long as you're upfront and honest, some of them will actually say, yeah, have fun. Otherwise, you have to be incredibly careful about how you go about doing it. There are people out there with a condition called Renfield's disease. It's not called that anymore, but it's the best way to explain it. Where if they allow you to feed on them, they will honestly believe that you turn them into a vampire, and they can be dangerous. So you have to be on the lookout for people like that. You have to be able to spot them and avoid them in a heartbeat.
So like they would feel you taking energy from them, and then they'd be like, oh, well, I guess that makes me one of them.
Some of them just need you to give them time. You don't even have to feed on them. Some of them are so eager to believe that they are a vampire that all you have to do is give them time.
Can vampires feed off of each other?
It serves no purpose.
Because you both have the same deficiency?
Yes, it's like auto feeding. It's another mental disability that involves someone cutting themselves and drinking their own blood and thinking that they're a vampire. Auto feeding does absolutely no good to anyone. It's pointless. It's useless. It doesn't do anything.
So, okay. I'm trying to wrap my head around all this. I've learned so much today.
Yeah, this completely has blown my mind. Like, so what I had written down to like, wow, it's like
There's
completely
just so many varying stories you get when you look on the internet about vampires, and there's so many things that you don't believe, and then you're like, oh well, this one said this, and this site said the other thing.
Yeah,
One
that's
of-
true.
One of my biggest questions still about you said sanguine is blood, right?
Yeah, sanguine is blood.
How do you get that? Do you really bite, or do
Gods
you...
no.
Okay.
Oh, gods no.
Okay.
The human mouth is so fucking dirty.
Right. No, that's my thoughts. I was like, that's got to be
Oh
unsanitary.
my god, no. Usually we prefer to draw it like you would at a doctor's office
Okay.
with a needle.
So you just teach yourself how to like draw people's blood, and you're like, hey, come on over. Or do you go to like a blood bank?
That's a touchy question that I would like to shy away from because there are vampires in all walks of life, from the lowest person down all the way up to the highest person. And there are people who really like to keep their night side separate from their day side, and that's what we refer to it as. The mask we wear when we're in public is our day side, and our night side is who we really are. And a lot of people like to keep that separate. Feeding practices are extremely personal and private. I can't imagine you'd want to go out and tell anyone just exactly blow by blow how you had intercourse with your significant other.
I tell people that every day. That's what Facebook
Yeah.
says.
I'm not the average person.
I'm just kidding. I feel you.
I'm
I get
my
what
own
you
best friend.
It's a personal thing, and we do what we have to do, but we make sure that we do it safely and cleanly so no one gets sick, gets infections, or anything like that. We're very careful about it.
So everybody's tested.
Yes,
All that.
God's yes. It's a requirement. If you're going to be a donor, you've got to be tested. You can look this up. It's called the Donor Bill of Rights. It exists out there, and it's something that a lot of us use as a guideline when dealing with donors.
Can vampires, like, when you see someone you know that they are, like, can people hide it so well that you can't tell? Like, can you self-identify or identify others?
Yes and no. I'm going to say yes to that because I have been extremely successful in identifying others without them saying anything and catching them later on and confronting them on it. Not so much as in an aggressive way, but hey, it's nice to meet you. I think we have something in common. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
You know. Because, like I said, keeping our day sides and our night sides separate is a really big deal. I do not build that wall between them myself. I'm fairly open about it. But a lot of people do because society really frowns on the idea of someone identifying as a vampire. You know, I've known people who have lost their jobs, lost their homes. A few people have even had their children taken away from them. It's society frowns on what we are so much that we have to keep what we are secret for the most part, and it's really stressful, and it takes a lot. It takes an incredible toll on our self-esteem, on our self-control. It just breaks us down to the point where hiding really is the best option we have.
There's not really a lot of laws. Like, there's laws against firing someone over their sexualism or like the color of their skin. But there's nothing really being like, oh well, we fired him because he's a vampire, and they're like, oh, we could probably say that, and nobody would believe us.
I think it's because people are just uneducated
that's
about
true.
what a vampire is. You know?
Yes, there is a lot of misconception about what we are. We're not the TV Hollywood movie idiots and monsters that are portrayed in films and sitcoms, etc. We're real people. We live real lives. We have real world problems. We have to worry about our bills. We have to worry about our children. We have to worry about our family members. We have to worry about our cars, having enough money for gas. it's everything that everyone else deals with the added weight of having this deficiency and knowing how society looks at us. It's an extreme burden. Being a vampire is not something I would ever wish on anyone. The bottom line is, it sucks. It fucking sucks. There's nothing glorious or wondrous or romantic about being a vampire. It's a hard life. But we can't change what we are. And if we run from it, if we try to ignore or try to deny it, it breaks us down even more.
Oh wow.
One other thing I've always wondered is like relationships wise, like do vampires only date vampires, or is
No.
it's not taboo to date
No.
another? Okay, like there's got to be some problems in those relationships, wouldn't you think?
Yes, there can be problems if you're not honest with your significant other. If you try to hide what you are and have a donor on the side, they're not going to understand when they catch you.
Yeah,
They're going to consider it they're going to consider it cheating instead of, taking care of what you need to take care of. So a lot of people, they will date outside of the community, and they'll be honest with their significant others and use them as donors.
So that's a pretty solid little donor setup too. If you've got a
Yes, it is.
willing participant that's also your significant other.
Yes.
And then you can bang someone too, because you like get it in there.
Are there
Sorry.
way to derail that?
Oh my God. Yeah, that was a locomotive off cliff right there.
Are there like hybrid vampires that are part like sanguine and energy? Like they can feed both ways?
Yeah, it is possible. Some people will be able to do more than one-way feeding, but they'll claim their primary as what they are. But most people try to avoid the stereotypes or the titles. Most people just want to be who they are. And getting labeled within the community is it's pretty rough, because once you stick a label on someone, people who refuse to educate themselves on the other types of vampirism tend to be rather catty.
I can see that.
Yep.
Chatty Cathy.
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate thing. Like I said, sometimes we're more human than human. We can be harder on ourselves than the rest of society can be.
The sun. What's the deal with the sun in vampires in reality?
That is another Hollywood stereotype that unfortunately almost hit the mark.
Really?
Almost. See that? Just
What do you mean
a
by
little
bit.
almost?
You ever walk out into the sun and feel like you're being burned alive?
Yes.
Okay. A lot of us have a sensitivity to the sun. For us, it feels like being burned alive with red hot needles jammed into every centimeter of our body all at once.
That's not pleasant.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I
No,
would
it's
not
not.
do that thing that made me feel that way.
I've actually been put in the hospital from sun poisoning more than once. When I was 17, I died of a sunstroke. So for me, getting out into the sun is not a good thing.
You died of a sunstroke?
Yes.
They brought you back?
Yes.
Nice. Wait, how'd they bring you back?
Paramedics showed up in time.
You got the little clamps?
I'm really not sure. I was not
Yeah,
present.
you probably weren't around.
Yeah.
You weren't really there. You're me just asking you, hey, when you were dead, did you like have an out-of-body experience and notice what was happening? No.
I did have an out of body. I saw the tunnel. I saw the white light.
Really?
And coming back felt like trying to shove an elephant through a hole about the size of an inch, quarter.
Really?
Crazy.
It was not fun.
What other like cool stuff like that? I mean, I guess that's not cool, but like
No, it's not.
Not yeah.
You made your friend hide his face.
I'm embarrassed for him. It's all right.
That's all right.
Yeah. I guess why don't we end this before I say something
But,
else? Do you have something to ask, Kurt?
I'm good. I was just gonna say, do you have anything else that you want to clarify or talk about before we wrap this
Yeah.
up?
What else do you think the public should learn?
I think I've covered all the bases. The last thing I'd like to leave you guys with is, if you find out someone is a vampire, don't ask them all kinds of questions because they've heard them all before. I know that you want to know. And if you say, hey, can I ask you some questions? And they say, yeah, go ahead. Be respectful with those questions. Because we have been given such a hard time for so long that generally when we're approached like that, we roll our eyes and go, oh my God, here it comes, and we brace for it. So be respectful to the people. Don't give them a hard time. And if you find out someone is a vampire and you see someone giving them a hard time, stand up for them. Let them know that they're not alone anymore, because that's the biggest problem we have, is we get so much grief for being what we are. It makes us want to hide from everyone. And it's an unpleasant, unwelcome feeling, because we can't help who we are. This is what we are. We were born this way. We didn't choose this. So if you find out someone is, be nice to them. That's the
one
last
likes
thing.
To be an outsider.
Yeah, quite literally.
I learned so much today.
No, honestly, we had no idea what to expect coming into this.
Had
From
no
what we
idea.
had seen on YouTube and everything, some of the vampires I talked to were
And
all
just
high
reading-
and mighty, talking down to people, and we were like, I don't know if this guy's gonna believe us. I don't know how he's gonna be. And you were badass the whole time. Like,
Thank you.
thank you so much for coming on and talking to us, man.
Just being honest, man. Have a good day.
We appreciate it. Take it easy, man.
You too.
Do you have anything you want to plug
Yeah,
before we go?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Go to lulu.com and look for ellienance.com. Help support a starving artist, and everything's good.
Oh, there we go.
All right, guys. Be
All
well.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Pass the gravy, bitches.
Gravy, gang, gang, gang. Baby, pop the top and let it spread. As we're listening to Past the Grave. We're going fishing for your bitch today. We're drunk in Houston, and we go ahead and lick and we'll get rich today. Rich, bitch. Houston, Texas, hometown. Pass the gravy, pass it loud. We can talk and go for hours. Entertainment superpower. Gravy gang getting louder. Gassed up, no chowder. We live, no router. Baby, pop the top and let it spread. As we're listening to Past the Grave. We're going fishing for your bitch today. We're drunk in Houston, and we go ahead and lick and we'll get rich today. Rich, bitch.